and how much they can hinder his farm. And also seeing as the fact that he's almost certainly going to be having to play with a Nature's Prophet stealing the jungle camps. Well, taking them for himself in that lane. Now, at the moment, Boogie's actually positioned himself on the off lane, so it looks like it's going to be an off lane Nature's Prophet, and it's just Hani and Come With Me looking for a level 1 gank on this dire off lane into the Radiant safe lane. So I'm not quite sure if they're going to be able to get anything there. There is an IO, so if the IO positions himself in a slightly questionable position, there's definitely a possibility if they get the stun off. AA is yet to skill anything quite so yet, so he's going to look at the situation and decide what is going to be most necessary. But with the fact that it is a solo off-lane Nature's Prophet, Joran might want to go aggressive, and then that might pay for Fnatic if they're able to monopolize on this. But pings come out. Io has spotted out the Wraith King, so questionable positioning from Denial. From Fnatic, and Denial are going to be pretty safe. We see Pounce taking a level 1, so Slark's going to be alright no matter what. I mean, one stun from the Wraith King isn't going to be enough for the right-click damage to come through to bring down the Slark. So, I mean, at the moment, it just looks like Hani and Come With Me potentially wasting their time. I mean, well, I guess they're not needed on the top lane. Trixi's going to be fine up here on his own. It's just going to be hard for him to find the farm. And I guess AA and Wraith King, they're just going to remain sitting here until they find the perfect opportunity to come out. But Denial are fully aware of what Fnatic are doing at the moment. And I mean, if we have a look at the last hits, mid lane, we've got the OD up against this puck, and it's pretty even at the moment. Both very strong mid laners. OD
top lane is going to be a bit of aggression actually going on to Trixi, and there's actually forcing a TP in here. It's going to be the AA coming in, but it's really not going to matter. He's going to pop the Chilling Touch, but well, can he find the return kill onto Mad? It might be able to do it with Boogie TPing in here on this top lane. It looks like there is going to be the return kill, and well, Bane's actually his gold is going to be split among these 3 heroes. So
yeah, some nice TPs, and then yeah, managed to pick up that return kill.
Trixi going down though is a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
like, it's great that he's able to catch up, but he really wants to get that Midas up and running as soon as possible, and that's just going to delay it completely. And this lane can actually play very, very aggressively. The Nightmare into the clap, and all of a sudden, like, the kill potential is there. And well, Come With Me, he has to be careful now in this bot lane because Mad has rotated down here, and with the supports AWOL, this is going to be an easy kill that Denali are going to be able to pick up for themselves. And Mad gets the last hit onto that one, and okay, we're now going to have a pause. It was actually looks like Joel just disconnected. But
yeah, I mean, as soon as Denial were aware that Fnatic had taken the AA and the Nature's Prophet out the lane, Wraith King was pretty much food for the Slark, especially with the Bane and the IO backing him up. But nice pick off, and with Denial getting the first blood and then a second kill shortly following, it puts them 2-1 and in a really nice position 2 minutes into the game with their lineup. Nature's Prophet, though, even though he did leave the lane, leading the last hits at the moment, looks like he's actually going to head into the jungle. It would be questionable for how long he's going to stay there before he heads back down to this bottom lane, but perhaps he feels just a combination of Bane, Nightmare into the Slark Pounce, and then with the attack speed boost from the IO with the tether isn't worth going into the offlane for, and we may see him remain in the jungle. And Hani could end up staying on this top lane, protecting Trixi, just to make sure that what happened very early on in the game doesn't happen again. And also trying to shut down the Brew, because Brew at the moment is on 8 last hits. It's a couple more than the Doom 6, but he has managed to get 4 denies, so he's getting a nice bit of farm and the space that he has needed so far in this lane. And obviously picking up that first blood, that's going to put him in a really strong position. So Fnatic, looks like they're just trying to react to the action that's happened so far.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I would be surprised actually if Hani does stay up here, to be honest. Trixi should be okay. He's hit level 3 now, so he's got 2 points into the Scorched Earth. The regen off that is actually ridiculous. And then when you add that in with the speed aura that he's already taken in terms of his creep, then he's going to be moving pretty fast. And well, he's got 324 move speed at the moment. When he pops the Scorched Earth, he's going to get a little bit more, another 16%. And then boots on top of that. He should not really be getting caught in this lane, even with the movement slows coming out from Thunderclap. And well, hopefully for Fnatic, they don't have to start rotating these heroes, because that's something you really don't want to do. If you've built yourself up for an aggressive tri lane and all of a sudden you're finding yourselves playing defensive, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem. And one thing as well, which is interesting to note, is Denial love to do this dual lanes. They absolutely love it. I mean, they do this more than tri lanes, and we see tech issues being spammed out. So we're going to have probably a little bit pause.
Oh, there we go. Looks like Slark's Slug's on his way back in after DCing a couple of times, but we should be good to go. And I mean, in terms of kind of going into the mid game, I guess Fnatic, obviously, with the AA and the puck and the Nature's Prophet, they'll be looking to make a lot of pickoffs as we get kind of to the 10, 15, 20 minute mark. Whereas Denial with the Slark, with the Brew and the OD, arguably, I guess they're in a bit more of a comfortable position to take the game to a later stage. But we'll see. We'll see how well this OD does mid. I mean, OD up against the puck. Surely the OD should win this lane. Even though he's just coming out on top actually at the puck. Yeah, 12-5 over the puck's 8-1 at the moment. So
yeah, you should really smash this lane as OD. And you mentioned going late. Slark's alright, but you're still up against Doom, you're up against Nature's Prophet. So
I guess, yeah, there's always the Nature's Prophet that you can't forget about.
Yeah, there's always going to be the danger of that split push. And I mean, Doom is a position one, remember, so this Trixi is going to get absolutely massive at some point. The later the game goes on, we'll have to see how it pans out. The Slark needs to be able to make kills happen around the map. He's not a hero that is just going to sit in this bottom lane for, 20 minutes and farm up. He's really going to start rotating reasonably early, and as soon as we get level 6 onto Creo as well, I expect them to be very, very active around the map and making kills happen, and I think that's where this game is probably going to be won or lost for now. Just the importance of these rotations is going to be absolutely crucial, and well, they've got heroes that have got decent initiation as well to follow up with. I mean, Paris is going to be able to find himself a Blink Dagger at some point. He's actually having a decent time in this lane because it is a 1v1 lane, and he needs to be careful now though, because it looks like these supports have stuck around, and well, we'll have to see what happens. Trixi's actually gone into the jungle and managed to find himself pack leader Zora, so that's really, really nice for him.
Yeah, that's going to make it a lot easier to catch up in terms of last hits against this Brew, who did have that really nice start in the lane. And yeah, the fact that the supports are now here backing up Trixi, it should ensure the fact that he's able to close the gap that was created at the beginning and find himself on top of the farm pretty soon. And in terms of his build, he's he's saving up the cash. Do you think this is going to be a Doom going for the Midas, or do you think they're going to?
This is Trixi. This is Trixi. This is definitely Doom Midas. I would be very surprised if he doesn't go for the Doom, go for the Midas. I mean, you could argue that Mech is going to give more to the team if you're going to start pushing fairly early in terms of towers, and now Mad's going to be in trouble. There's going to be the stun. There's also going to be the cold feet proccing as well. He's actually going to try and erase some of that with the Nightmare. Defensive Nightmare being used. Look at Creo just healing him up. This Io is out doing absolute work, and Mad's going to be able to survive for the time being. And now Paris might be looking to turn this one around. There's going to be another cold feet coming out from Harney, but is it really going to be enough? Mad's coming back into this one, and they should find the next auto attack, and they are going to be able to find it. Harney's going to get brought down, but now Creo's going to be in trouble. The TP coming in from Boogie, and well, if they can find anything more, this is going to be a nice trade going the way of Fnatic, but at the moment, it doesn't look like they can. And what a nice rotation coming in from Creo. His IO is actually very, very nice, and more aggression actually onto Paris. So Paris is going to take a fall here. Come with me, just TPing back to the lane, full mana, and he's going to be able to pick himself up a cheeky little kill for the Prophet.
Yeah, unfortunate about the Brew letting himself get taken down at the end of there, because as you bang on with the Creo, with that play on the IO, keeping the Bane alive and then allowing the Brewmasters to turn it around and get those kills. But now Bane with the questionable plays. Mad is caught out. There's going to be a TP in from the Brewmaster. Brewmaster though still level 5, no promo split. Creo's trying to do what he can again on the IO. He is keeping the Bane alive. Bane isn't going to get away though. Now Brewmaster trying to turn this around. Boogie's dove a little bit too far, but he's going to be able to back up.
Creo could be in trouble here. Creo's going to go down. Trixi's going to be able to get that kill, and Trixi is all of a sudden on a shit ton of gold. He's also managed to pick off the tier 1 tower as well. Unfortunately, no one gets the last hit on that one. It is destroyed by the die, but still a really, really nice fight coming out for Fnatic in the end, because they were kind of losing that one a little bit after the initial fight broke out, and then unfortunately Paris goes down. They lose Creo again. They lose Mad again. And they also gain the tower. So Fnatic really take a big win up here on this top lane. Meanwhile, Jorrel has been left to his own devices. He's farming down here on this bottom lane, and he's farming reasonably well. He's still only like 8 CS ahead of Paris, which just shows how well Paris has done on this top lane. And there we go. There's the Midas coming out from Trixi. So it is going to be the full greed as expected. And I don't think that really surprises anyone. Like Trixi is just going to farm and 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 then farm and then farm some more.
Standard.
Although having said that, he's not one of these carries that sits in the lane and farms for 20 minutes. He is going to find himself a lot of farm, and it is going to be his priority. But Trici's one of these carries that definitely rotates into other lanes when needed and helps out the team from a very early stage. With Doom, it's like, all you got to do is TP to a lane and doom someone, and you pretty much contributed all you can.
Yeah, I mean, with the aggression there, Trixi was stepping up to it and diving as far as he could, and it did pay off. I mean, on 1+ for Denial, whilst it was all happening top and it was a little bit sloppy, Jorrel was able to find a solo kill on the AA, so that's given us something. And also going where Denial at the moment is, because they've kind of been focused more on farming rather than these rotations that Fnatic have been doing, the 3 top farmers are on the side of Denial. You know, we've got OD at the top at the moment, absolutely destroying this puck mid. He's pretty much doubled the last hits of the puck, so a ridiculous amount of farm going the way of QSDF on this OD. And Slark, as you were saying, pretty much getting free farm down on this bottom lane as all the action was going on elsewhere. And Brew, who's just been overtaken now by the Doom, as we were saying, the fact that the supports from Fnatic had headed top to help Trixi has enabled him to close that gap between himself and the Doom in terms of farm.
Oh, there's actually going to be a Doom straight onto Paris on the top lane, and a really nice Sprout as well, keeping him trapped in there. And this is probably going to be Paris' death. He only needs a few more auto attacks. There is a deny possibility coming in from Mad, actually, and he's going to get denied here. Yeah, they're going to be able to find the deny on it. So nice TP rotations coming in, and Boogie's actually going to take the Nightmare, and this might put him in a bit of a tricky spot. A few more auto attacks, and then a Brain Sap's probably going to be enough here. Have they got the speed? There's going to be a tether coming from Creo in 1 second, and it doesn't look like they want to chase it. In fact, yeah, they do, and there goes the Brain Sap, and Boogie's going to take a fall. And meanwhile, Puck actually picks off a kill onto OD in the mid lane with the help of Come With Me rotating in. So bit of a bloodbath so far in this game, really entertaining so far. Lots of kills happening around the map, and
yeah, I mean, 6-7, and yeah, that was a really nice pick off on OD in the mid lane. Did miss that myself as well as we were watching the action on top lane, but shutting down the OD, especially when he's getting the amount of farm that he has so far. Looks like he's managed to pick up the majority of the mech so far. Has got the buckler and the headdress complete, only looking for that recipe, and that's not going to be too bad a timing at all on that mechanism. There's actually some stacks in the Radiant jungle. Puck is going to spot them out. Looks like he might be looking to jump on this Slark. He has got the AA. AA hasn't reached level 6 quite so yet, but they have left him on this solo off lane, trying to pick up the experience to get that back into the game. And
yeah, that's one of the beneficiaries really of when you force out so many rotations from the opposing team, and then you have an offlaner that can jungle. You can just stick one of these supports in the offlane when there's farm to be had, and it's going to allow Harney to reach his level 6 at a reasonable time as well in this game. And level 6 on Harney is going to be very, very important. You mentioned it in the draft. Shutting down the Slark is a big deal, but also just on squishy heroes as well. Like, Creo is going to have a horrible time as soon as that Ice Blast hits, because it's just going to make him so squishy, and it means that he's not going to be able to buff anyone up either when he's in the middle of a fight.
No, absolutely, yeah. Shutting down him, that essentially shuts down 2 of the heroes of Denial. So we should hopefully see some nice Ice Blast coming through. Puck did have an in his room, was looking for some action in the jungle, managed to find King Mad, but to be fair, Mad's been involved in a few kills, and at level 7, just a little bit too tanky for the Puck to burst down straight away. Even though he's level 8, has got the ultimate back online. We may see him try go for a kill again on this OD, but he's going to need the help of the Wraith King, who at the moment is elsewhere on this top lane with Boogie, trying to make another push happen onto the tower, but it's going to be pushing into the Brew with the backup of the Aya. So team's going to be playing a little bit more carefully now at the moment. Both teams, I guess, waiting for that IO to get that level 6 online, and then in turn really waiting for the AA to get his ultimate online, and that's going to be the chance that both teams are going to look to go a little bit more aggressive. Harney's very close now to picking up the Ice Blast, thanks to the solo XP that his team have let him get at this bottom lane. Trixi has got Doom online as well. In fact, they're going to smoke here. Yeah,
being able to get a kill onto Jorrel here with the Doom is going to be a really, really big deal. And, well, we're going to have to see, because he's actually starting to rotate out of the lane. He's sensing that he's not safe down here, with Doom missing, knowing that Doom is probably going to be back up again, and he's just going to rotate around to the mid lane. Maybe see if they can go aggressive onto this tier 1 tower. There's actually a Nightmare over on Puck, who actually manages to get rid of it with the illusion rune that he managed to pick up. And now we're going to see a Fiend's Grip from Mad, and this is going to be Matu going down. He's going to take a fall in the mid lane. Jorrel looking for a pounce as well. Really nice dodge coming out from Come With Me, and well, it doesn't look like Jorrel's going to be able to find anything for the time being. He's just going to have to get himself out of here, and the fact that Doom's going to come out and the stun as well, Jorrel's going to be all sorts of problems. There's going to be a defensive Nightmare coming out, but there's no denied follow-up, and now it's actually Fnatic making the plays happen. They're pressing forward. Matu Baman, he's just going forward. Ham, absolute ham, straight into the tower, taking some of the hits, and well, Paris is going to pop the ultimate here, and this might be a little bit of an overextension coming from Fnatic. It's going to be Matu, he's going to take a fall first, Mad being able to pick up the kill on that one, and now it's going to be a Nightmare up, stopping the TP from Come With Me, and well, he's going to fall as well. He's got no way of escaping this one, and it's actually going to be Creo picking up the kill on that one. So, I mean, 2-hero trade. Paris actually seeing he can make it a 3-2 in the favour of Denial, and he is able to do so, managing to pick up Harney's Ancient Apparition. So well, Denial, it looks like they were getting themselves into a bit of a tricky spot originally, but then a slight overextension coming from Fnatic, and the Brewmaster split, which seemed to be completely forgotten about, comes out and helps change the fight around.
Yeah, absolutely. That Brewmaster's Primal split was absolutely key to turning that round. And Brew finding himself involved in these kills now as well. Very close to the Blink Dagger. He's sitting on 1900 gold, just a couple of hundred away from picking up the Blink. And then with that Blink online, you know, they're able to initiate themselves Denial. You know, at the moment they're playing up against a Puck, you know, an AA's Ice Blast, you know, the long range initiations. But with the Blink online, they'll be able to force the fights themselves rather than just waiting for Fnatic to start the push.
Yeah, I mean, the only bad thing about Denial, even when they win a fight, there seems to be a negative, but they did actually pick off 3 heroes, but 2 of them were the supports, whereas they did lose 2 cores on their side as well, the Slark and the OD going down. So in terms of favourable trades, they win it in terms of numbers, but maybe not necessarily in the heroes that they actually managed to find and pick off. And, well, Matu and Boogie, they're up here on this top lane. Matu Batman has got an Invis rune in as well, and they may look to go on Jorl here. Jorl should figure this one out because he's not moving very quickly at all, and yeah, he's being scouted out. He realizes he's in trouble. There's going to be TP support coming in the form of the OD, and well, what can they find here? Jorl's actually going to go instantly on the aggressive. Can he be able to pick someone off before this fight really even breaks out? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. He's trying to bring down Come With Me, but Come With Me is just so tanky, and now we're going to see the hammer brought down by OD, but it really doesn't actually do anything. Trixi's going to join the fight as well. The Doom is going to go on to Jorl. As if that is already up. Again, unbelievable. Astral Imprisonment used offensively. This is going to protect him against Trixi. How is Trixi still alive? The Scorched Earth just doing so much work. Jorl is eventually going to go down. There's going to be no Deny coming out. And now it's actually going to be the OD picked up by HoN's Trixi, HoN's Ancient Apparition. Paris is going to fall as well. It's going to be 5 heroes all falling on the side of Denial. And, well, what a fight by Fnatic. They just had such tanky heroes. The Reincarnation coming from Come With Me as well just was so difficult for Denial to deal with, and well, to make matters worse, they're going to lose this tier 1 tower on the bot lane as well.
Oh, that was a ridiculously bad fight for Denial, and the fact that they weren't even able to get Trixi, you know, he was just able to TP out and he was on absolutely minuscule HP. And Mad perhaps in a little bit of a risky position here. It looks like he might try and go on them. There are 3 of them there.
Oh, he may be in trouble here. He might get initiated on completely. He has got a little bit of movement speed, so it's not going to be too bad for him. And the trees are blocking any kind of initiation coming out from Mad himself, because the rest of his team were coming in reasonably quickly. And Come With Me, he's just going to get himself out of there. So a lot of aggression so far early on. Denial losing the first really big team fight that swings one in one team's favour. Really not good for them, because they put themselves into a decent position and they really want to be finding these pickoffs and snowballing on these heroes like the Slark, like the OD, like the Brewmaster even. At the moment, they're just not being able to do so. They're just getting punished for every little mistake, and Trixi is farming up like an absolute machine. He's already on pretty much 7k net worth, which is 2.5k higher than any hero of that on Denial.
Yeah, I mean, Trixi's going to be so scary. Yeah, the fact, looking at the net worth chart, it's ridiculous, especially bearing in mind the fact that Denial did have the 3 top farmers literally only about 5 minutes ago. And it's just the fact that Trixi, with these movements around
mid lane, Dream Core is going to land onto 2, and Matu's already managed to find it. There's going to be an Ice Blast to follow up as well. That's going to completely blow up Mad, and now the fight's going to break out. There's going to be a Doom over onto Paris, so he's not going to be able to split for this one, and that is really going to hurt him. Boogie's going to start right-clicking him down. He's going to actually get denied up. It's going to be the OD by QSDF picking off that one, but now Jorl, he's under a little bit of pressure. Can he actually get himself away? It looks like he can, just with enough movement speed.
Look at this go! This Wraith Fire Blast is global. It's not going to take him down though, but he literally followed the IO. He relocated out of the lane, and then he TP'd again, and it was chasing him all the way. I don't think it would have even hit him, but it literally, if he hadn't TP'd, that would have definitely killed him. But again, another strong fight for Fnatic there.
Yeah, really, really strong again, and they pick off the tower. Boogie gets the kill over on that one, and he's actually gone for a very old school Nature's Prophet build as well. I mean, we usually see these, we've seen all these Blink Daggers, Maelstrom builds, and we've seen the Null Talisman Blade Mail builds. Well, he's just going for Midas, Necromonicon. Pretty standard coming out from him, and, well, it looks like they may be looking to try and take the Roshan, although they seem a little bit tentative about doing it, Fnatic. Maybe a little bit of disagreement in the camp there.
Indeed. I mean, Brew has got the Primal Split online, and the other ults are all available. So
it looks like Trixi's going for an Aghanim Scepter. It's either going to be Aghanim Scepter or Skadi, and I mean, Skadi's debatable.
It's got to be the Aghanims. It's got to be the Aghanims. Because I guess the Aghanim's, it's going to be nice, especially when the Doom's so key on heroes such as Slark and the Brewmaster. You know, two of the cores who instantly are pretty much rendered useless once the Doom gets thrown down. Also interesting to note, Come With Me picked up a 16-minute hand of Midas, so perhaps trying to transition himself into a bit more of a semi-carry. And perhaps we're going to see a little bit more of Midas gaming coming out, which we haven't seen for a long time.
Well, I suppose at the moment, like Fnatic, I think they probably transition slightly better into the late game, especially after the poor start that the OD and the Slark have had. So therefore, they can just prolong this game out for kind of as long as they want. And picking up the Midas suggests that that's exactly what they're going to do on Come With Me. They're in a pretty comfortable lead right now, and they're just going to keep themselves in this position, farm themselves up, get these core items online, and then start pushing again. And, well, they're going to have an Aegis as well, so we might even see a push come out even earlier, because Trixi has 2 lives.
Yeah, Trixi level 11 with the Midas, with the, well, the workings of an Aghanims and the Aegis now. They're pretty much safe to just storm down a lane. Fnatic looking incredibly strong at the moment. Yeah, net worth. The difference with the Doom and Nature's Prophet have over OD, the highest farmer on the side of Denial, is pretty disgusting. I mean, OD, how's he doing for himself? Has got that mech finished and he's sitting on 1700 gold. Do you reckon he's just going to save up for that Mystic Staff and go straight into something like a Scythe or a Shiva's Guard? Or do you think he'll be picking up a BKB?
Possibly. Not going for Treads is another one. I feel like Treads gives quite a lot to an OD. A bit more tankability. I suppose he's got the mech, so he doesn't need too much, but more always helps, right? You can never have too much tankability. And
bottom lane,
a little bit of attack speed. And bottom lane looks like there's going to be an aggression and actually a relocation out, so Joral's going to be absolutely fine. They may even bring him back. How long is the Doom going to last? Not for too much longer. I mean, 5 seconds, Creo.
Yeah,
is he going to do this? Looks like he's just going to come back on his own, and that means he's going to definitely fall. He's going to go down and gets picked off by these 3 heroes. Trixi picks up the kill on that one, so that's just going to extend his net worth even further. He's sitting on 2k gold now, so I'll have to see whether he's going to go for this Aghanim Scepter, and it'd be interesting. It would definitely be an interesting item choice. It's not something that I would have first thought of. I mean, it does give you obviously the chasing ability to be able to just completely negate either the Brewmaster or the Slark in the fights, which is really nice to have. But if you pick it up and then that happens where you just get relocated out, as we see an Ice Blast onto Joral. Joral actually gets defensively nightmared up. There is a Primal Split as well being used in the back of this fight, and there's going to be, a nice little bit of communication actually, miscommunication, bad bit of miscommunication as we see the Fiend Script coming out from Mad, and then instantly Trixi being thrown into the air, so he's now going to get himself back into the fight, and now it's Dinar losing heroes, and well, they've already lost the Slark. Are they going to lose another one? Mad, he's going to fall as well. The Wraithfire Blast is going to be enough to kill that one off, and Dinar are just trying to get themselves out of there. Somehow these heroes from Fnatic have not yet fallen. Trixi finally goes down, but he has got the Aegis, so he's going to be making a comeback reasonably soon. Nice initiation from Matubam, and he's going to be able to find 3 heroes with the silence. A nice bit of damage going on to Paris as well, and Come With Me, he's actually just going to walk into the middle of this one just to get the slow on these 3 heroes, and now we're going to see Paris probably taking a fall. Creo trying to buff him up, a defensive Astral coming out as well, but it's actually going to be Creo taking a fall for the first time. He's actually so squishy, and he just gets completely brought down. QSDF manages to find a return kill, but not before Paris gets brought down. And Paris is going to buy back for this one. Trixi and Come With Me, they're just going to get themselves out of here. Both of them have their second lives up and running and don't really want to fall again, so another really nice trade going the way of Fnatic. And well, look how much gold Trixi's sitting on now. He's sitting on 4.3k gold, so he's pretty much going to finish up the Aghanim Scepter. He has indeed done that, and he's still sitting on 1k gold, and he's now level 14 after picking up so many levels in that engagement.
Yeah, it's getting kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, if you look at the levels, as you said, Doom level 14, the highest level at the moment on the side of Denial is the Brew at level 12, and then the OD level 11 in the mid. I mean, we saw at the beginning how well the OD was doing against the Puck. We pretty much doubled the farm, and now that we've got the Puck after those engagements, sitting 2 levels ahead of him. So the momentum's really going the way of Fnatic, and if we have a look at these graphs, it should be kind of clear. XP graph here, we're seeing a plus 14k lead to Fnatic 20 minutes in, and gold graph is hitting the 20k point at 20 minutes. And mid lane, Mads looks like potentially in a bit of trouble. Actually going to dodge the Ice Blast. That would have definitely killed him. They're going to try and turn this around though, Denial. Using the relocates going on this Puck.
Oh, went into the Fiends group, and there's actually going to be a phase shift, but in the end they are going to eventually find it, but not before Come With Me comes in and just finishes Mad off. And now actually the rest of Fnatic coming in, and they're looking to see if they can find anything, but they aren't going to be able to find it. Doom comes out again, and was it onto the Slark again? Who's seeing it? No, he's just relocated up, so
I think the Doom was down onto the Brew. It went down.
Onto the Brewmaster who went down, okay. What's interesting actually is with the Aghanim Scepter, Trixi is going to doom someone and want the doom to be on them for as long as possible, well, until they die. and he may find that difficult to do as we see an engagement actually onto bot lane, but QSDF, he's going to be able to just defensively put an Astral onto Trixi and walk himself away. But I mean, as soon as you could just relocate your, the hero that gets doomed out of the fight straight away. Admittedly, it then means that if you stick around, you're going to lose the fight. But if you can disengage in time and then Doom's down, you can just reinitiate with the relocate coming back. So it's an interesting decision from Trixi. I'm not sure that it's necessarily going to work perfectly, I have to say. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how effective it is. And Stark's actually able to take the tier 1 top.
Oh, Creo, he's going to go down. The right clicks from Trixi is just too much with this alpha wall creeping. Meanwhile, in the fight, there is going to be a split, and they are going to be able to find the Wraith King. So come with me, he's going to take a fall. And now there's actually going to be a Puck looking to see if he can find QSDF. Trixi's going to blink up to the high ground as well. One more auto attack should be able to do it. But Slark comes in, and he wants to just man fight Trixi. And I don't know whether this is a good idea, because he's losing a lot of damage. Although now Trixi's in a little bit of trouble. Shadow Dance making it possible. Jorrel should be able to find the kill here, and does eventually find it. In fact, Brewmaster picks up the kill on that one. Blink away by Puck, so he wants nothing to do with this one, and Harney's on the run as well. So they lose Doom, and they lose Come With Me, and only managed to find a kill onto... Well, they finished Creo off, and they also managed to pick a kill up onto the Outward Devourer as well.
Yeah, and what was really nice for denying that, the Brewmaster.
Oh, Matsu Batman, he's actually getting caught out here. There is going to be a cold feet onto Mad, but it's going to be a little bit too late. Takes a long time for that one to kick in, and now Boogie's trying to finish off Mad, and he's going to be able to do so. He's actually hitting reasonably hard with this No Talisman in his inventory, with the Force Staff as well, and okay, there's going to be a blink forward. Jorrel wants to find more blood. He wants to find these kills that he's so been lacking this game. He's already managed to finish off Harney. Can he find Boogie? He manages to get onto him. Is he going to be able to get there? Yes, the damage is there, and Boogie's going to take a fall. Jorrel picks himself up. Actually, Io picks that one up, so Creo picks himself up a nice little kill, and one going the way of Jorrel as well. And this is the sort of things that we need to see. Jorrel's actually picked himself up a blink dagger, which I really, really like, because it allows you to blink around, pounce around, hit those perfect pounces, and just be a lot more of a nuisance in fights. So what he really needs to build now is a little bit of damage, because he has a little bit of trickiness battling up against the Doom, especially if Doom is going to be available. There's literally nothing that this guy can do. So being able to jump onto supports and burst them down may be his next priority in the fight.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah, with that blink, he's just going to have a seriously large amount of mobility. Of course, also with that Io constantly backing him up with the tether. Jorrel is going to be running circles around all the heroes of Fnatic. But yeah, remarkable fight there for Denial, bringing down the 4 heroes. And Jorrel is going to look for a little bit of a push mid. The Airable Ice Blast is going to send him packing for the time being. And Trixi on this Doom, he's got the speed. He's going to go straight in. Doom gets thrown down there. There's going to be a relocate out.
Is he going to be in time?
No, they're not actually going to relocate.
No, it's not going to be there. And, well, Slark's going to take a fall.
What? Hang on, what did happen there? They looked like they were going to relocate, but... Does relocate, does the cast time get cancelled if you get stunned? Because they used the level def on the Io, and that seemed to have stopped the relocate, but it shouldn't, should it?
No.
I don't know what happened there.
No, it just wasn't in time. Or maybe he panicked and relocated too far, like right where he was. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's going to be a split, and Boogie's now going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get himself stunned up, and is there enough damage actually on these pandas to be able to bring Boogie down? It doesn't look like it at the moment. They're really struggling to actually provide this damage, and there's no real follow-up coming in as well. Finally, Boogie might look like he's going to go down. No, he's still alive. The pandas are chasing. The pandas are chasing as hard as they can. Boogie's hiding around in the trees. He is finally going to be brought down. Brewmaster picks up the kill on that one. It took the whole primal split to do it, and meanwhile, Jorrel may be in a little bit of a problem. He's actually going to be fuel scepted into the air. How has Harney managed to find this much farm? He's going to be able to pounce himself away, and he's going to get himself to safety, but now Trixi might be in a bit of trouble. There's going to be a brain sack, and now a blink forward as well, and well, there's going to be a nightmare. So TP away was a little bit of a problem, and OD's going to come in for this one. It's actually Funzy playing the OD, I've been told, so Funzy actually picks up the kill.
And, wow, this Slark, who's, for most of the game was pretty much redundant, is suddenly becoming something that Fnatic really need to worry about. Pretty much everyone apart from the Doom, the Puck, the Nature's Prophet, and the AA at least, he's been running around these fights, just picking them off on the sidelines. And as long as he doesn't get doomed up, he's pretty much unstoppable. And that's pretty much what's wrecked Fnatic in the last 2 team fights. And now finally finding a little bit of momentum for themselves. They are going to be able to claim their second tower of the game, getting that tier 1 mid. But, I mean, even though Slark's finding himself involved in these kills, his farm still isn't that good at all compared to the core players of Fnatic. And it's going to be a while until he's able to catch up. And it's just a question whether it's going to be too little too late. OD might find himself a solo kill here on the Nature's Prophet. Hasn't got the ultimate available to pop.
Well, the relocation gank is coming in, so this is going to be probably a kill going the way of Denial. And yeah, Boogie's going to take a fall, trying to TP himself out, but I think he even realised that that was going to be a bit of a difficult one. And, well, maybe the push comes onto this top lane. Nope, they relocate away, and they're just going to head themselves back towards this mid lane. So, I mean, Fnatic have managed to take all of the outer towers. They've built themselves up a pretty hefty gold lead with some of the kills they've been able to take as well. So we're looking, it was in round hits, hovering around about the 20,000 mark. We're now heading back towards the 15,000 mark, so the turnaround is definitely coming. And do Denial have enough to be able to win these fights and win this game? Because I still feel like they need to win at least another 2 or 3 fights before they're actually going to be in an equal position and bring this gold lead all the way back down again. Yeah. Because there's still 4 towers, you know, up on the side of Fnatic, so it's not like they're in a precarious situation at the moment. I still think they're in a very nice situation, especially now we see the Shivas over on Trixi as well. So this is going to be a bit of an annoyance to the Slark, who hasn't picked up a BKB, has gone for an Ogre Club though, so we're probably going to be seeing the BKB come out from him next.
Yes, yeah, and I think, yeah, with that BKB online, he's going to be able to run around even more, and with the BKB and the Dark Pact as well, so many ways of removing all the status effects, so he gets thrown down on him from Fnatic. I mean, talking about the gold, the difference is still huge, and that is because there's a lot of towers, as you said, on the map that Denial still needs to get. Fnatic are going to be able to get Roshan, but if you look at the XP graph, that's actually turned around hugely. You know, it's gone from a 14k lead to Fnatic down to a 4k. So they managed to close 10k of XP over those last 2 team fights. Yeah,
exactly. And as you mentioned, like the gold lead will slowly fall anyway, as these towers do fall on the side of Fnatic if Denial are able to find these openings. And yeah, the experience lead at this stage of the game is probably a more accurate reading of how the game is going.
Yeah, I think definitely seeing as after the kind of those initial tower pushes from Fnatic, it's all been about the team fights. And where Fnatic was pretty much doing very well in the early game. As we get to this mid-game portion, pretty much from about 22 minutes or so onwards, Denial have really been able to find their footing and take the fights going their way. Pings coming out everywhere across the map. Top lane, it's like a bit of pushing is going on from the Brew and the OD. There is a double damage rune as well. If Slark picks that up, they could definitely look for some action. IO has got the relocate available as well. And IO with the Slark now to back him up. They're just going to clear the Ancients. And it's just going to be an Ice Blast headed up to the top lane just to slow down the push. Nature's Prophet with the builds, as you said, going for that Necro Midas. Picking up a 4-staff next. I guess pretty nice if he gets jumped on by the Slark. I mean, do you think it's key picking up the 4-staff over something like a Blink Dagger as this Nature's Prophet?
If he gets like done by the Slark, then he's not going to be able to get away with the 4-staff, unfortunately. I mean, it's to try and dodge the pounce probably initially anyway.
Yeah, just for the dodge, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And just to be able to get away from the split as well is pretty important. But it's a pretty standard pickup. Instead of the blink, you're not going to go for that one, and instantly Paris is going to get doomed up. There's going to be a defensive nightmare actually being used over on Trixi, so he's not going to be able to do too much for the next few seconds. And now an Astral onto Mad, keeping him alive for a little bit. But look how far Fnatic are diving here. They really feel like they can be able to take this fight, and they're taking it right inside the Denial base. There's a lot of damage coming out. Actually, Joel is still alive. He's managing to keep this one alive, and in the end, Funzy's going to go down. It's going to be a level death from Trixi picking that one off, and now Joel needs to be a little bit careful, because Trixi wants blood and he wants towers and he wants to take them down as fast as possible. And with 3 heroes down with no buyback on the side of Denial, this is something that we see quite often from them, and they really tend to put themselves a little bit behind in some of these games, and then they're fighting their way back, and therefore they have to buy the items as soon as they get them available. As we see Trixi blinking in with the Shivas, obviously the area of effect of the Shivas follows with you, so you can pop it and then blink which way you want to blink. And Ice Blast is just going to keep Creo and Joel in the base for a little bit longer, and this is absolutely crucial because for that reason they're going to lose the racks. Not that they would have been able to defend it anyway. Fnatic are pretty stacked at the moment in terms of their farm, and they really just managed to punish Denial with the lead that they've managed to get in terms of items and net worth and that gold advantage from those towers. And this is why we see so many teams do this sort of 5-man snowball, because when you can get these big items up and running, then it really does make the difference when you start taking fights. And yeah, Fnatic, they've lost a couple of fights when they've, attempted to push up the high ground, pushing tier 2s, but eventually they were going to win one, and they finally did and came good. And for that reason, Denial lose a set of racks, and the first set of racks in this game.
Yeah, I mean, losing a first set of racks 31 minutes in isn't too bad, but top lane, yeah, Nature's Prophet
is dead.
Beans grip pop for that, but it was worth it.
Oh,
Nice
Trixi's
pick
going
off.
to come in now and instantly throw the Doom onto Mad, and it doesn't look like Jorrel wants to fight this
They're
at all.
out
He's
of
actually
there.
going to relocate himself out. They've gone, see you later, Mad, you're dead, pal. We're not even going to attempt the deny. Maybe just expecting the rest of Fnatic to come flying in. They weren't actually that close. It was kind of a solo jump in by Trixi, pretty ballsy, but he's going to be able to find the kill pretty easily. So a little bit more gold going to him, and he is absolutely ridiculously farmed in terms of net worth. And, well, the 3 cores of Fnatic, although not even cores, because Puck's actually pretty low down the list, and it's actually Come With Me who's transitioned into this sort of carry build. The Midas doing absolute work. He's picked up the Maelstrom now and the Blade Mail, so he's actually a force to be reckoned with in these fights. And he's overtaken the OD in terms of net worth, and that's how well this game's been going for Fnatic so far.
Yeah, the fact that this roaming support Wraith King at the start is just being able to find his footing and get as high up the net worth board as he has. With that 16-minute Midas pick off, I mean, 32 minutes in, we're starting to see that pay off in terms of XP and gold. In fact, Come With Me just going balls deep.
He's going
there.
balls deep here. He's going to get caught out. This could be a big problem. He has got the reincarnation, so there is going to be TP support coming in from Boogie, and Creo at the moment, he's still alive. There's going to be Primal Split by the Brewmaster as well, being played by Paris, and already they've lost Boogie, so this isn't a fight going so far very well for Fnatic, but if they can bring down Jorrel, then this would be absolutely huge. There isn't a Doom available because it was used upon that top lane for Mad, and, well, it looks like there's going to be a blink forward. Jorrel finally does go down, and now it's going to be Funzy. He's on the run. He's trying to escape. Has he got the pure damage to be able to bring down Trixi? It doesn't look like it for the time being. Masubam, and he's looking forward as well. Manages to actually just silence up the Brew, but nobody else for the time being, and now Trixi stun over onto Paris. It's going to come from Come With Me, and he's going to take a fall as well, and Mad's just going to call the GG. They know that they're in a precarious position. They know they're about to lose another set of racks, and they've probably lost the game at this point, so he's just going to GG himself out as we see Pain take a fall as well. Mad dies before the Ancient falls. And, well, Fnatic fairly convincingly take game 1. Just that gold lead. Like, it's so important. It's what we've seen in this meta, like, completely, like, utterly stomp teams when you start taking this early tower advantage and get those key items up, especially when both teams are playing on heroes